Hello, stakeholders. This is Sustainable Agriculture and Insects by Garth Seehaver. Within the next few decades, our food production systems and entire ecosystems could collapse. In the near term, crop yields could plummet, production costs could skyrocket, and the soil you till could become infertile. We are in the midst of an extinction event. Global biodiversity is declining due to human-caused climate change, habitat destruction and fragmentation, invasive species, and overexploitation. Beneficial insects such as pollinators and nutrient recyclers are vanishing 8 times faster than any other creatures. At the current rate, over 40% of the world's insect species will be extinct within the next few decades, and the ecosystem services they provide will disappear with them. In Germany, winged insects have decreased by 76%. In the United States, 68% of ladybug species are declining, and 2 have disappeared within the last decade. U.S. butterfly populations have declined by 22%. When you take a stroll on a balmy summer night, do you notice the lack of lightning bugs where they once created swirling constellations? Current unsustainable agricultural practices are primarily responsible for these harrowing declines. Expansion and intensification of agriculture, monoculture production, and widespread use of agrochemicals such as synthetic pesticides and fertilizers are the primary causes. If nothing is done to reduce, halt, or reverse the decimation of insect populations, the world will face significant problems. We will lose the crucial functions that insects provide, such as pollination, nutrient cycling, control of pests, and feeding predators. Without these services, agriculture and your livelihood will collapse. For example, less pollination lowers crop yields. 1/3 of vegetables, fruits, seeds, and nuts depend on pollinators. Lower yields threaten your profits and global food security. Reduced nutrition will increase long-term health conditions such as heart disease, cancer, and stroke. How would you like to live on ramen noodles? Nutrient cycling keeps the soil fertile by replenishing essential elements such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, carbon, and sulfur. Each is crucial for crop production and a healthy and sustainable ecosystem. A decline in any of these elements would have a devastating impact on the plants and animals in the environment. For example, a drop in nitrogen levels in the soil will reduce plant growth and biomass. Less biomass equals less production, but it also means less carbon sequestration, which exacerbates global warming. Without the pest control insects provide, your crops will inevitably suffer infestation, reducing yields and increasing costs by requiring additional pesticide applications. Worse still, the use of more pesticides will exacerbate the problem. Lastly, declines in insect populations will affect other species higher in the food chain. There has already been a decline in the population of birds and reptiles due to the decreasing abundance of insects. Many of these affected species also provide pest control and other important ecosystem services. Our well-being is directly tied to the survival of insect populations. Halting their decline is not only essential to conserve our environment, it is also in our best interest. Since agricultural practices are driving the disappearance of insects, there are practical changes you can make to prevent the looming disaster and ensure sustainable production. These practices include using legume-based biological nitrogen fixation, compost and organic manure, cover crops, also known as green manure crops, biofertilizers, enhanced efficiency fertilizers, genetic modification, rewilding portions of your property, and biological and genetic pest control. You can also spread the word to raise awareness among other agricultural stakeholders of the effects of unsustainable practices on insect populations. Agriculture, food security, and our environment will collapse if insects continue to disappear. To reverse the declines in insect populations, it is essential that we adopt more sustainable farming practices.